All right, y'all, so I'm still trying out this landscape mode since a lot of you have told me that you really prefer it filmed in this mode. I think it's weird personally, but just trying it out. I don't know. We'll see. Once again, feel free to let me know if you like this mode, if it looks better, more visually appealing to you, or if you don't care, or whatever, you know, I value your feedback. But anyway, I just wanted to talk a little bit about how I start difficult to start seeds. This is a video I've anticipated making for a really long time, so I'm super excited to share. I have next to me, I put this light up extra high so you can see the plants, but normally I'd have it down as close as possible. But this is, I'm not gonna say the name because they didn't pay me anything, but it's a hydroponic tabletop like system. Yeah, hydroponic tabletop system. That's what this thing is called. And I like it to start seeds. I grow herbs in it and just keep it in the house, you know, year round. I live in a climate where I can garden year round, so that's not really a huge appeal to have it for that reason. But sometimes it's just nice to not have to go outside when the weather's kind of not as great as we'd hope. But anyway, I have started some peppers here. This one is chile de árbol, and this one is, I'm gonna mispronounce this, gochugaru. Anyway, it's a Korean pepper that gochujang is made out of. So I'm pretty excited to grow them. I'm gonna actually transplant them. I can grow them in this if I want to full size. It gets a little crowded if you have more than one. But I like to start them in here and then transplant them. It's probably better to do it when they're a little bit smaller, but I've got a lot going on and I didn't get to it yet till today. So they are gonna get set back. They are gonna be kind of wilted, but I think we could do this because I've done it before. So the main reason you wanna transplant sooner rather than later is because, as you can see, this has already got quite the root system that we're having to contend with. So all of this has to come out of this plastic thing. And now you could just cut this off if you didn't care about it. I like to reuse it because I'm cheap and poor. So, so we're just gonna take our chances and just like very carefully try to get this out. Also, there's like three, I don't know if you can see, but there's like 3 peppers in here. One's really small. So I always start more than one seed. It's very fortunate that all of these germinated, but they don't always. So that's why I like to start more than one. Yikes. So we're just gonna very, very carefully try to remove this from the plastic pod. And it's just, you have to untangle it. It's really tedious. If you get like, if you do it too fast and break a bunch of the roots, the plant is gonna have a harder time. So it pays to just be really, really slow and careful with it. And some of these pods have this little thing at the bottom. I am gonna cut that. There's no reason for that to be connected, so. Okay, so I got it free of the basket. And like, obviously, I said there's no reason for that. There is a reason. It's for supporting things. I can't talk. It is for support. These things are for support. But if you know you're gonna be doing this, like, just cut it ahead of time. It will save you a lot of time. And also, don't wait till the plant's this big. I did damage the roots a little. It's inevitable. Even if it's smaller, it's probably inevitable. But, see, it's already wilting. It's already angry. So we're going to try to dig a nice deep hole. No, now we can't see what I'm even doing here. All right, I have these pre-prepared pots. I'm going to dig a nice deep hole and put the roots in. And then we're going to bury it. Leave the little sponge on it. So this plant is extremely angry. Whoops, I want to get the little guy out just in case, because honestly the little guy has the biggest chance of surviving. That's when they're the most hardy for transplant. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in there like that. And I'm gonna give it a nice watering and put it in the dark, because the plant's super stressed and we don't want any other stressors to be happening. So putting it in the dark helps reduce that. And I'm gonna do that for like a couple hours to overnight, depending on how the plant's doing. So literally the biggest tip to get these out is just going really, really, really slow. There's no real like trick to it. You just need to be careful and accept that there will be some damage to the roots, and hopefully it's not so much that the plant dies. And I go, you can see I'm going super duper slow. I'm just kind of wiggling, and if I feel any resistance at all, I kind of stop and try to figure out what's catching. And yeah, it bends the roots, that's damaging. Touching the roots, damaging. Air on the roots is damaging. Everything's damaging and traumatizing. So here's another traumatized pepper. Looks like a couple others tried to come up. I don't know if they're gonna make it or not, but okay, all that's left to do is water both of the peppers, and I'm gonna put them in like my bathroom. I'd put them in my garage, you know, like kind of a dark area, but I have ducks and chickens in my garage, so that's just not gonna work. So I'll do that for a couple hours and check on them, see how they're doing. Probably tomorrow I'll start hardening them off. So pretty much you can do this with just about any plant. You don't have to do peppers. I just did peppers because that's what I wanted to do. But you could literally do this with anything, even stuff that wouldn't typically grow in a tabletop hydroponic system. So starting your own seeds in these countertop hydroponic systems is really easy. You can get these little sponges, and I like to make 2 little slits like that so that it allows for expansion of the plant as it grows. So you have your sponge, make the 2 little cuts, take whatever seed you're gonna plant, stick it in there, put it in the basket, and then pop it in with this on top to help keep humidity, which you can get all this stuff aftermarket, so no big deal there. So behind me, I have the 2 peppers. It's been about, I don't know, 6 days, 5 days. It's 2 days they've been out here just in the garden fending for themselves. Sorry about the bumps. My cat is insisting that I pet him right now, so he keeps bumping up against my elbow. So anyways, yeah, they're a little bit wind blown, as you can kind of see, but they're doing good. So now the next step would be you can increase the pot size as they get bigger if you want to keep them in pots. Peppers are perennials, so that you can keep them for a while, like a couple years at least, and then you might want to replace them. They could get pests or maybe even diseases, so it's kind of good to replace them after that. Or you can just plant them in the garden at this point now that they're hardened off. Anyway, if anybody's interested in hardening off and like what I do for that, just let me know. I have other peppers, other plants. I can film that as well.